You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Devious Maids After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Devious Maids After Show.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome to season 2 of Devious Maids. We've been waiting a whole year to get here. I'm your host, Candice Buenrosto. Joining me are my two lovely co-hosts.
Hey guys, I'm Laila Sadny.
And I'm Francesca Dugan.
And we are so lucky to have in the studio a special guest for our first show, Tricia O'Kelley.
Yay!
Hi guys.
Thanks for coming.
Oh my god, my pleasure. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and we'd like to welcome you to season 2 of Devious Maids.
How exciting is that?
So excited.
Really exciting.
Yeah, so we know you just, made a little cameo and
Teeny tiny appearance
but there'll
last
be
night.
more of you to come.
There's going to be more of me, yes, in episodes 2 and 3. And, hopefully more.
But the beginning, your first episode, your first scene was so dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, what a way to come into a show.
I know. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but Eva Longoria directed the first episode.
Yeah.
She was so amazing. Can I just tell you? I've never met her before. And but she was so in command just to watch her direct. Like watching any woman, for me anyway, direct is just, I don't know. I just kind of loved it. It's so empowering and I love to see it. But, I think there's probably a little bit more pressure when you're a beautiful woman who's known as an actress and whatever to go in there and really command, attention and respect. And she did, man. I mean, she was fantastic. And, I think the episode was awesome as well. So anyway, the scene was pretty intense, right? The scene was really intense. And can I tell you, it was really scary shooting it, too. Because, those guns are loud. Yeah, really loud.
For those of you that didn't see, in the first one of the storylines, they get robbed at dinner, and they're
in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, at the Powell's, and Adrian's like, "This is Beverly Hills. We don't get robbed here."
The best line ever.
Yeah, I started laughing so
Best
hard.
line ever. Yep.
Yes.
And that was a really intense scene though. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get more into that later, but it kind of unravels later on in the show who the people who robbed you guys, they really didn't care about the money.
No, they show in the episode that are these spoilers? Are we giving stuff away? Are we assuming that everybody's watched the episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they show these guys, not their faces, but they show them, handing the cash to homeless people. So we don't know who they are. But clearly they're not just after the money.
Well, the Powells aren't the nicest people, so
Yeah, they have a lot of targets. A lot of people go after them.
Yeah,
so,
but you gotta love them.
Gosh, they're so good.
How great are they? I was just talking to Danny, my publicist over there, Danny Duraney. Hi.
Hi, Danny.
About Rebecca Wasaki, who plays Evelyn Powell, who
Amazing.
I kind of worship a little bit.
So awesome.
Because I've never. I've worked a lot in this business playing like the wealthy, bitchy, no filter kind of characters. And then suddenly I'm working with her and I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I mean, like, it's like, seriously, it's like working with the Meryl Streep of the, of that character, that type of character. She's so good. Really it's like the role was written for her.
She has it down to a T, and she's almost
Brilliant.
like creepy, which is so awesome that she brings that to that. Yeah. I love her too.
Yeah, she's so good, and Tom's amazing too, who plays Adrian. So.
And you guys filmed most of it. Well, you filmed all of it in Atlanta.
It all shoots in Atlanta. Yeah, we were actually stuck there for. I flew in for. I guess it was the first time I flew in, so it was probably episode 1. When the big ice storm hit, when everybody was stranded, and we wrapped. Is this interesting? I don't know, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So we
backstory.
We knew it was going to snow, but I don't think we knew how badly, and that's probably why the chaos happened. But I wrapped about an hour before everybody else did, and I got in the car to go back to my hotel. And, it was kind of dodgy in the car. It was a little slippery, whatever, but I made it home, made it back to the hotel. And everybody else wrapped an hour after I did, and they didn't get home until the morning.
Oh my gosh.
The morning.
Wow.
Yeah, and so obviously, production was shut down for the next couple of days, and I was staying in a hotel in the middle of a national park where it was like The Shining. It was like it was just ice everywhere, and I couldn't go anywhere.
It was like a snow day when you were a kid.
It was
Like a lot creepier.
It was, but super creepy. There was nothing around, and the hotel ran out of wine.
Oh gosh.
Kill me. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
That's a major problem, people.
Yeah. It was a major problem. But they were obviously much more prepared when it happened the second time.
That's when you start knocking on your neighbor's door
Yeah.
and raid their mini bar.
Oh yeah.
She's done it.
Well, then the next time I went, it was still winter. Next time I went to Atlanta to shoot, and I went to the gift shop and bought like 3 bottles.
Oh yeah.
Just in case.
You
Just
never
in case
know.
I wanted it in my room.
Emergency
Yeah.
wine.
I was not going to let that happen again. So
Prepared.
Yeah, totally prepared.
So now we see you. You can just you have a flask on you at all times.
I'm thinking about it. I am like one step away from that girl who carries a flask with her. Yeah, one step away from that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So what's it like shooting in Atlanta? I mean, other than the ice
I
storm.
had never been to Atlanta before. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then, I was able to kind of walk around a little bit. The last time I was there, we were shooting actually in the Midtown area, and so I stayed in a different hotel that wasn't so far removed, and got to do some shopping, and it's a really cool city. I actually loved it. The people are great, really sweet. And it's always fun to travel for work.
Yeah.
I have kids, so they were really great about making my stints there, brief. So I would just go in for a few days and get to come back and see my kids and go back, so I never really, stayed for too long. But in the moments when I wasn't shooting, I got to take a look around. It was pretty great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I want to see it in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm really proud. I'm really happy that Lifetime picked this up because essentially ABC didn't want this, so
know, how
Lifetime
crazy.
jumped on it. But in the beginning, Eva Longoria was getting a lot of slack from the Hispanic community,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, why are you making Hispanic maids, looking down upon
Yeah.
it?" And
Yeah.
essentially, she's bringing us up as a Hispanic.
Oh.
It's like, okay, you're shedding light to an issue, and it's not like we're being derated.
Yeah,
But
but
she's made
also
the women are strong and
the-
they're funny,
exactly. These women are really strong, independent women, and
Yeah.
and these great actresses have are getting to play these great roles, and I see
nothing but positive.
Yeah, me too. And the show is doing extremely well for Lifetime, and it has this huge following, and Mark Cherry's writing
How
is
awesome
amazing.
is
Like,
he?
he's amazing. He's amazing. I was
amazing.
so excited to be able to when I auditioned for the part, just meeting him was kind of thrilling, and he's so great in the room and like works with you and yada yada yada, and but I'm just such a fan of his writing,
Yeah.
so
he's pretty amazing.
I feel lucky.
Yeah. It's funny, like the first season, I started watching it not knowing what to expect, and I got totally just pulled into the storyline.
Well, the first scene of the pilot is one of the best first scenes of any show I've ever seen ever. Right?
Yeah.
You're sucked in immediately.
Yeah, done. Yeah. So he did a brilliant job with that.
Yeah, I think so too. And the same thing for me. When I watched it, I was like, oh well, I'm done. I'm like, I mean, it was so. It's just so good. It's like that juicy kind of,
Yeah.
you just don't want to walk away from your TV.
We were talking about it because we were actually friends. We've been friends for many years, and when this came out, I was like, "Let's watch it," and we were like,
Yeah.
totally like,
She got me
okay.
hooked on
Yeah,
the
we got
show.
hooked
We
on
have our little Sundays watching Devious Maids.
Little wine.
Little
Yeah.
wine,
Or a lot of wine.
Maybe a lot with
Or a lot
us,
of
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
It is great.
So we should talk about this first episode.
Yes,
huh?
the first episode. So then we have a new storyline, and we have new characters.
Yeah.
So Marisol, she is engaged to Nicholas Deary.
Right. Played by Mark Declan.
Yes, but what happened in that first scene? Did she jump or did he push her? I think he pushed her.
Well, I mean, I guess we're gonna find out, but there's definitely
Yeah,
we
I
don't.
mean, you know. But how you answer, I
I
guess.
know, but I can't tell you.
No, I know you can't tell.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems a little
Fishy.
shady, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
And the little boy that was their son.
That's Ethan, right?
Oh.
Well, I don't think it was their son. It's Opal's
Opal's
son.
son, right? Okay, that's what at first I was confused about.
I was
Yeah.
too.
Well, I'm almost positive that the little boy was the maid, Opal's son.
That makes,
And forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's what
that would make more sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like if this little boy just watched his mother die, that's
Yeah,
awful. Oh
I
my
don't.
gosh.
Yeah, and I don't think the cops would go up to this little kid or just watch his mother die and be like, "So what'd you see?
Did she
kid?"
jump?
You know, I think. I
makes
think that's
sense.
Opal's son.
Well, what's going on with Opal? I mean, what is her deal?
Well, I had one thought briefly that the son is maybe Nicholas's and Opal's.
Oh.
I hadn't thought of that.
Because it was just Opal's
Yeah,
creepy.
where's the dad?
She is creepy.
So it's just kind of, it was just, she comes in the room very motherly. Well, if it's her son, but it was kind of a weird vibe.
That's a really good guess. I actually don't know the answer to that, but I think that's a really good guess.
That would be a good storyline, though.
Yeah,
That would make
right?
sense of
It
why
makes-
she's so...
Wants to hate Marisol.
Yeah. And how she left
she
her the
hates
earrings.
her.
Right. She hates her. And that's Joanna Adler, by the way, the actress who plays Opal, and she's pretty fabulous as well.
Yeah, because she pulled a little move on her, leaving the earrings. Make you think that
Yeah,
this is
right?
Saying how she should dress up. You should dress up.
Right. And meanwhile, she looked fabulous.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she was totally...
I love her new haircut.
Yes,
Isn't it
obsessed.
cute? Isn't it cute?
So cute.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Okay, well, moving on to one of my other favorite storylines. Last season, Rosie. I feel like I'm echoing. Am I echoing?
No.
Sorry, that little wine. No, just kidding.
Why isn't there wine? Where's the wine?
We can arrange that next time. Come back.
I will not come back without wine.
So Rosie, last season, Peri Westmore, Mrs. Spence, got her deported because she found out that they were having that affair.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was in the pen for 3 months until
Right.
they got her out.
She's like, oh, actually, I wasn't deported. That was one of the that scene is hilarious. It was great.
Her reaction, Perry's reaction, like,
Yeah.
right?
She's like, broke the wine glass.
That could happen in America. I didn't. Like, she was so brilliant in that scene. Yeah, and then she found Spence and told him, and Spence thinks that Perry's pregnant, but she's not.
Not pregnant. Of course,
That was
she's
a little.
not.
That was a cool twist at the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Rosie, though, I mean, it's just so funny. Like, does she actually think that that she would tell Spence? Like, oh yeah, guess who's back?
Yeah.
It's just. I
Well,
don't know.
I was surprised she did because I
I
didn't
know.
think she was going to tell him.
Yeah.
I know. Well, she did that, and then she's like, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Kinda like
She was
little
being
backup plan.
devious.
Yeah.
No
but
pun intended.
But Rosie has no idea that Perry knows or doesn't like her. So why wouldn't she assume that Perry would tell? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Right?
That is
She has
true.
no idea.
It's true.
And neither does Spence.
I'm curious to see how the writers they write her to get pregnant because she's not pregnant right now, and I don't think Mr. Spence is gonna want to sleep with her.
I don't think he's gonna want to
No. Like, she could fake it. I mean, until,
She's
for
gonna
a
get
good 8
pregnant
months,
by
but then-
someone else.
There's two
8-9
options.
months
He
and
can make a fake, paper saying that she's pregnant.
Baby from somebody.
That's creepy too.
She could have someone else impregnate her.
Right. And then that's going to be a scandal
And
later
it's-
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose baby is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's Nicholas's too. I don't know.
Maybe Nicholas is going around impregnating all of Beverly Hills.
Wait, can we talk about how awesome Danya Ramirez looks like? Because they started filming after she had twins.
I know.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they were only, I think, like 2 months or something when they started.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't even tell.
She looks amazing. Yeah. I can't even imagine. I'd be, bedridden for years if possible.
She's hilarious on the show too.
So great.
They're all great. I feel like, these roles were just they're just tailor-made for each of these actresses. Maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe Mark had these actresses in mind when he wrote these characters. I don't know. But
Maybe.
or he just got really lucky to find them because they're
Right.
so perfect. They fit, the roles fit so perfectly on each of these.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
very perfect.
I love Mark. I've been a fan of his since
Desperate
Desperate
Housewives.
Housewives.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
so genius and fun to
I know.
watch and just so colorful what he does.
Yep.
And it's nice to see what's going to happen next.
I know.
What do you think about Carmen and Alejandro?
So is Sam just gone?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Sam-
Sam was her boyfriend.
Yeah, he was
Oh, Sam. Oh, I loved Sam.
he worked at Alejandro's house
Yes.
too. And
Well,
then
he
just
left
kinda
to
just-
go make something of himself. Like, he wanted
I don't
to.
remember that.
To prove it to her
Yeah.
that he could be a real man or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how he left, right? We haven't seen him since then.
And I don't
Okay,
think he
so I
liked the
bet
fact,
he'll come back, though.
I think he's gonna come back for sure.
Yeah.
hope so.
He was great.
He didn't
I
like the
love
fact
Sam.
she was getting married to Alejandro.
Right. Poor
right.
Odessa.
Oh, right. So wait, so he
Odessa.
came back. Wait, so he came back and they like rekindled it. And when that offer came to her,
She took it.
She took it.
and then he left. Right. Okay.
I mean, what would you guys have done in that? Love of your life or career of your dreams?
I mean,
Come on.
yeah. Okay. No-brainer.
Wait, can we talk about poor Odessa?
No, I can't stand. I'm
Odessa.
sorry. Like, I can't stand her
But you
character.
know, I love their chemistry. They have this like sisterly argument.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
The two of them together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's so angry. She's like, "Where's my martini?"
Well, I mean, I kind of just always thought that she was in love with Alejandro.
I did too.
Right? I mean,
She-
secretly
she
in love
is.
with Alejandro, right?
Has
she admitted that?
I thought she said that, and then so that's why she was.
Did she admit
Yeah, so she was saying last season, when everyone found out that he was gay,
Yeah.
she was like, "Well, I'd rather that now I know
other
no other
women-
woman's gonna."
That I remember that. You are right.
Oh, right. Okay.
But then he's married to Carmen now, so
Right, but she knows that.
I mean, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's a fake.
Yeah.
So.
I love how the end of that scene though, she showed how vulnerable she was when she started crying to Carmen about, you can, Alejandro can treat me like the help, but
Yeah.
you're
but
my
not you.
friend. I thought,
Yeah.
the way for you to treat me like the help, it's like hurtful. And it was like, it kind of made you, didn't you feel a little, a little bad?
bad.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to like her. Like, I mean, it's hard to love those characters when they're, that play hard and closed off and
Yeah.
whatever, and until they show, that vulnerable side of them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Make you
like,
feel for
remember,
them.
did you guys ever watch Cheers?
Yeah.
So remember when Kirstie Alley first came on the show and she was just this hard ass and like just very all business, all business, all business. We didn't fall in love with Kirstie Alley's character on Cheers until she got drunk. And she was like, and then we realized that she was just a mess, like an insecure mess, and it was all this facade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wanted people to take her seriously and da da da.
Yeah.
And so Odessa shows her vulnerable side, and we love her.
Which is great when there's so many different layers of characters. When
Yeah.
like, people can show that.
Yeah.
It's just that's the key to it.
It's true.
And I love when Carmen found out she kind of messed up when Alejandro's like, okay, if Odessa quits, then you're going to be the maid again.
She's like, oh no,
No.
that's not gonna
My favorite
happen.
line, she's like, I wasn't good at it in the beginning.
She was messing up all the time. It was,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny how quick though that she could just tell Odessa like, "Hey, get me a martini" or whatever. But it's like, wait a minute, just
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago or
Right.
3 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
You
think
were
she.
there.
I truly don't think she asked like really rude and kind of
No.
rubbing it in her face. She just asked, and but of course it's like, how are you going to take that?
But wouldn't you feel? I mean, it's like when you're staying at somebody's house. You're like, I'll get it. I got it. I can do it. I can do it. I don't
Yeah.
know that I would feel. I don't know that I. Yeah.
I don't think I would ask. I think I would just make it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think asking was kind of a little like rubbing it in her face.
It was
in sense,
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad she brought it to her attention. And after she's like, okay, martini, I'll make us martinis.
Exactly.
My favorite when she was trying to cover it with Alejandro. She's like, she's I think she's been drinking again.
Let's just talk about how amazing Susan Lucci is.
That's the best.
Love her.
I mean, she's
Everything
amazing.
that she says is just
No,
like
It's funny. Everything that comes out of her mouth is funny.
It's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
to see her in this aspect because I grew up watching her on All My Children.
Yeah,
so
me too.
seeing her in this, it's
know.
awesome. It's just awesome.
She's so good at this character. Like, she's just this, naive. And I love that too because they're not just playing all of the Beverly Hills housewives as being these rich, bitchy. I could give a crap about anybody else but myself. Like she's never had to work for anything, but she's perfectly innocent about it. She's not mean to people. She's just So when those things come out of her mouth, it comes from a place of innocence and and it's just such a great. It's just a nice new flavor, of
Yeah.
that somebody who comes from a lot of money. It's good to see that kind of an effect rather than the standard.
it's nice to see her relationship with Valentina on the show too.
Yeah.
Motherly.
Yeah.
That's cute. How about when she was like, I have to get the car from the valet?
We're talking about the screening room about East LA. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when she was talking to Zoila, Valentina's mother, she's
yeah.
like, "Oh, you can't have her go back to the hotel. She's staying in East LA. Do you know how terrible it is?" She's like, "I live in East LA," and she's like,
So you know.
So you know."
It's so brilliant.
She's just made to be this character. And one of my other favorite lines is, "Have you eaten?" She's like, "Yes, I had a whole aspirin this morning."
Yep.
And it's funny because in that line, how she sneaks off, Zoila's like, "Oh, where are you? You're gonna go? Because she was so mourning her ex-husband still in the beginning of the scene, and she opens up the letter from Rami, and it's saying where Valentina is. So it just shows you how. Yeah, just what you were saying. She's kind.
Yeah, she's really kind. She cares about these people, you know. And I love that she's afraid of Zoila. You know, that she like at the end of the day is just like, oh no, yeah, whatever you say. You know?
But their relationship is actually one of my favorites on the show.
Sweet, isn't it?
I love it.
It's so sweet. It is. It's like a mother-daughter relationship. Only Zoila's the mother, and she's the exactly. That's what it feels like to me. She just takes care of her. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you get the feeling that she would take care of her even if she wasn't being paid to.
Yeah.
That Zoila would take care of her.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've been through so much together. Like she used to date her brother, I guess.
It's been like 15, 20 years that they've been in each other's lives, right?
Yeah.
I think 20,
20,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's nice of the show does show like that side of it, like that, it's not just maids or people like that are considered help. Like the real people, real lives, and like people have relationships.
Exactly.
So I like that about the show.
I do too.
And who knows? Maybe down the line, Remy and Valentina will be married, and they'll be.
Well, I think that has to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like a little Ross and Rachel thing. Where years from now, after they, they're together, they're not. They're together, they're not. But they gotta end up together.
I feel like Ethan though is gonna kind of throw a wrench into things.
Yeah.
He's lurking.
He is lurking. He's already
by the
lurking.
pool.
The pool man. Yeah.
Can you tell us? And I know you can't give away too much.
Right.
Anything about your character on the show, Tanya?
Tanya Tasseltoff is my name, and I'm an old friend of Evelyn's.
Okay.
And that's kind of all I can tell you.
Okay. We'll take what we can get.
I think that's all I can tell you. Except that, I'm just an old friend of Evelyn's.
Okay.
And also, wealthy and
Well, we're excited to
unkind. Wealthy and unkind. Yeah.
Well,
I wish I could. I'm sorry.
I know. I totally understand.
Okay.
We're excited to see you and the storyline and what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah.
Me
Maybe
too.
when you
I know what's going to happen, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it.
So in this episode, Valentina breaks up with Remy because he wants to stay another year in Africa.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So if Remy was your boyfriend or your boyfriend, would you break up with him for that? Would you get annoyed? I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
Well, I would kind of, because she's like, well, what about my career? And he said, your career fashion doesn't matter. I would kind of not be okay with that.
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if he's like, look, I know you've got to do your thing. I have to do this for my career or because I want to help people, whatever his reasons were. Fine. But I would probably say I'm going to try and wait for you and let's keep in touch and whatever. Let's see if this is, but it's really hard. A year, a really long distance relationship.
Yeah. Especially when you're young like
it's
that.
really
too.
tough, and you can't kind of.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the beard though he had when they were FaceTiming? I was like, it's pretty gnarly.
He should not cover up his face. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna agree.
Yeah, that's the only reason it was gnarly because you couldn't see his beautiful face.
I love Susan Lucci's come back to that when Valentina was telling why they broke up. And he's like, what's the point of living if there's nothing nice to wear?
That was amazing. I want that. That's my quote of the day, I think. Thank you, Susan
Everything
Lucci.
that comes out of her mouth. Everything that comes out of her mouth.
Let's get back into the robbery with Adrian, how he's left vulnerable, and his wife was talking to Tony in the kitchen because he's kind of like a little kid now. He's having nightmares about being robbed.
Yeah.
Like, again, she's just so brilliant. She's like, I could tolerate anything but weakness.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And he's like changing the locks and his like hands are shaking.
Yeah. Don't you love seeing him again vulnerable?
Yeah,
You're
such a
seeing this
twist,
person vulnerable, and you're like, oh, you just want to hug him, right? He's so good too.
You're used to him being creepy, and now he's like you
Right.
said, like a little
I
kid.
know.
But he's so good at being
He's
creepy.
so
Gosh.
good at being
Creepy. Yeah, he is.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes you want to turn.
Like, I seriously think that they're one of the best duos already. It's only season 2.
I agree.
Episode 1 of season 2. But I really think that Adrian and Evelyn are like one of the best TV duos
No, I agree.
I've ever seen. They're so good together.
I agree.
I love their new little hot bodyguard, Tony.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dominic
Your eye
Adams.
candy?
Your eye candy.
I know they were describing him as like very dangerous, and people were like scared of him, and whatnot. And then there's this
And then this,
underwear
Adonis.
model.
Totally. I think you'd probably find underwear modeling pictures of him if you went on the Dominic. Yeah. Yeah, the
Even-
big. Sorry.
No, even Evelyn told him, put a shirt on.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he's going to, though.
No.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't think she minds really, though.
The big joke is, like, will he be clothed? Because more often than not, he has no shirt on.
Here's what's cool about that. So in the first season, it was the female maid that was the whole, like, causing the problems. And what if it's the guy now that's going to be the interference? And now it's, like, her turn.
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Now, he's done with the whole creepy video stuff, right?
I mean, I don't know.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. No, I think that was established at the end of last season, wasn't it? That he was going to stop.
I don't know. Well, no, I guess this season they did briefly talk the first, in the beginning of the episode they did briefly talk about they were not going to be, but I don't feel like it was like
Well, I mean, I think part of they've rekindled their relationship at the beginning of episode 1, and it had been 3 months. They went on a vacation together. No sexy maids. I think they came to some sort of understanding clearly, and I'm sure that part of that understanding was, please stop filming you having sex with them.
Yeah, I think everything that went on last season and how it ended and just how like traumatic it was for everyone. I'm sure that maybe it scared him straight a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, probably both of those reasons. So yeah.
Well, what do you guys think since Valentina shows up at the Powell's house at the end of the episode?
Yeah. How's he gonna not look?
No more hideous maids.
Yeah.
Oh, because the hideous maid that she hired quit. She got scared because of the robbery.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How funny was that maid?
Just look at by the way, they had to make her hideous because she's so cute. Aww. They had to add the facial hair.
That's right.
Oh my gosh,
she's so cute.
That's what I was thinking, because the moles, I'm like,
yeah, no, it was
a
all
little too.
Yeah, it's a little too much.
They gave her a unibrow. I know, she was. She showed up. She was so adorable at the table read, like really, like fashionably dressed in these little cat glasses, and her name's Anna. I don't remember her last name. Sorry. But then she showed up on the set that day, and I was like, "Oh my god,
what a transformation!
Completely different person."
And wait, she said that she doesn't feel safe in Beverly Hills anymore, so she moved back to Lebanon.
yeah, so fantastic.
Totally safer.
Was that Evelyn's line? That was Evelyn's line, right?
One of
yeah.
Yeah, again, like how great is the writing on the show?
So good.
So good.
And also for filming in Georgia, it's so believable that you watch as you think you're in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That house, the Powell's house, I've never seen anything like it. It's enormous. It's enormous. I mean, that's a real house.
It's gorgeous with the chandeliers and everything. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I legitimately didn't know it was filmed in Georgia.
I didn't either.
Did you really? Mm-mm. Yeah, it is.
And
I was
even,
like, oh, cool.
parks.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like the park scenes, it looks like a park in Beverly Hills, like that park off Franklin Canyon. It looks exactly.
It does.
So they did a great job at recreating.
Right? I know. And then a lot of it's, on the soundstage too. But yeah, it looks amazing.
Did you have any scenes with Susan Lucci?
I did.
Lucky.
I did. It was kind of thrilling, and it was. We were about to shoot a scene together, and I get nervous, and I always have. And we were about to enter, and I was supposed to enter first, and then she was supposed to enter the scene, and we were just talking beforehand, and I said, I get so nervous. I hate that I get so nervous. I've been doing this for how long, and I was just kind of thinking out loud, and and she's like, well, me too. I was like, what, Susan Lucci? She's like, oh, I do too. I get horribly nervous. I'm like, come on. There's no way you get nervous. But I thought that was so sweet. I mean, it made me feel better that, if Susan Lucci can get nervous and be brilliant, then maybe someday I can be brilliant. No. But it was just cool to hear that coming from her. But yes, I got to do a few scenes with her, and she's this big. She's got the cutest figure I've ever seen in my life. Just in incredible strength. Shape. She's strong.
Her arms look strong.
Yeah, and she takes great care of herself, and she could not be nicer.
She does a lot of Pilates. I was watching an interview with her, and she says she loves Pilates and she eats a lot of fish. So I was like, trying to take notes because she looks
amazing. Like, whatever you're doing, I'm going to look like that at that age.
I was like, you can just sit here and tell me every single thing that you do.
Yes.
Everything you put on your face.
Yes. Right?
Everything you do, in your mouth. Whatever. I just want to know because she looks amazing.
She should write a book.
She should. Hasn't
Maybe.
she? I feel like she has. Hasn't she?
Not
Like a beauty book? No?
I don't know.
She should.
She should.
Yeah.
Let's get
She
on
hasn't.
that.
Let's get
Maybe let her know that.
Let's put it out there. I'll tell her. I'll tell her.
Tell her we love her.
Yeah.
Yes. So, should we do some predictions?
Yes, let's get into some predictions.
Well, you had a really good one about Opal. That was a really good prediction.
I thought they were going
About
to play the
Opal.
sounds.
I know.
What'd you say?
Oh, we're getting into predictions. We're going to put it all.
There we go.
Waiting for it, people.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Fantastic.
It's very sci-fi.
It's October again. It's Halloween.
Yes. I know. Francesca, do you want to go first with your predictions?
So yeah, just like I said, maybe I think there's gonna be some sort of twist with with Opal and the son.
Sorry. Susan Lucci, Danny Duraney,
Ooh.
publicist extraordinaire, is telling us that Susan Lucci has published a book
Okay.
entitled...
Entitled All My Life, a Memoir.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go.
$9.99 on Amazon.
Good to know.
There you go.
Thanks for that.
So
We'll read it.
predictions, yeah.
We'll have a book club with some wine and we'll read it.
Yeah. I love how wine is coming into. I know.
Next time Tricia comes back, we're going to have some wine.
We are.
I swear to God, if you don't, I'm walking out.
We will. Don't worry.
Okay, so your prediction, Opal is.
So Ethan
Yeah.
maybe is Nicholas's son, or there's just something weird going on in that household.
Oh, for sure.
Very
Yeah.
for sure.
I like
So-
that prediction.
Okay, we can't get any predictions from you, so
can't
Laila,
say a
what do you think's
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
on?
I mean, there's so much I think that's going to go on, of course, but I think Rosie is going to end up with Mr. Spence. I want them to end up together, and I want,
too.
Yeah.
you know,
Mr. Spence.
Mr. Spence.
I mean, that's so, you know, it's
Yeah.
probably typical prediction, but I like them to end up together. Remy and Valentina, I think there's going to be a little bit of a, you know, long distance thing going on, but I think that he's going to come back.
I hope so.
Before the end of the season.
He's going to come back for her.
All right,
How about you, Miss Candice?
my prediction, I think Valentina's gonna, she's gonna hook up with a little pool boy.
Oh,
She's a little rebound relationship. And let's see, and I think that Marisol is not gonna find her happy ending. I think it's not.
something bad's going to happen there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but
Just even how they in that house, how the sun was peeking out the window and how Opal peeks out the window. That house just is creepy in general. So yeah, I think
Yeah, something's weird there.
something's weird.
It's weird.
I actually don't know what's going to happen. I don't. I've heard things, and I know obviously in the next couple episodes I know what happens, but I really don't know what is in store for any of these characters for the rest of the season. So
how
it's
about
kind of exciting.
like what would you like to see happen if you did? I mean, I guess I don't know if you can even say that, but
Well, see, now what I know is in
I
my
know.
head.
I guess.
So I don't.
Okay.
I can't.
No problem.
I'm afraid that
I don't
I
blame
can't.
you. Yeah, I
Well,
afraid.
we'd just like to thank you for coming.
my
And
God,
what
thank
other
you.
projects can we see? What else do you have going on? You could let us.
I
everyone
have
know.
a web series called Bitter Party of Five, and
Love
it's
it.
basically myself and four of my co-stars from a failed comedy pilot that we did for
Oh, I love
NBC. It's Jason Antune, Mary Birdsong, Greg Cromer, and Romy Rosemont, and myself. All actors that met on the set of the Roseanne John Goodman pilot for NBC. And we kind of bonded immediately, and we thought it was going to get picked up, and everybody else thought it was going to get picked up, and it didn't. And we were such good friends at that point that we thought we have to do something together. So we started a talk show, a spoofy talk show, where we interview our more famous friends.
Nice.
I
like it.
But the interview is so much more about us. It's more like, why are you on that side of the table? And you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And we've had guests
I
like
get the bitter part.
yeah. We've had like Allison Janney and Martha Plimpton and Help Me Here, Martin Short, Chris Colfer,
That's great.
Tony Hale, Caitlin Olsen, my best friend.
This sounds hysterical. I'm gonna
It's
check it
so
out.
good. So you can find it on YouTube, Bitter Party of Five.
Nice.
And watch from the beginning, because the pilot episode is where we call NBC. We actually literally call NBC, a real phone call, to find out if our show was picked up. And we got all the way to the president's office. So,
Oh my God.
And then it goes through all the episodes. So check it out.
Awesome.
And it's really fun, and we're proud of it. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening, and you can check us out on our iPod, on iTunes. Rate us 5s and tell them how much you love us for our first show for Devious Maid Season 2. I am your host, Candy Buenrosto. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram, Candy Buen, CandiBuen. And Laila, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Laila Sadny.
Perfect. You can find me Twitter, Instagram, XOXOCESCA.
You can find me on Twitter, Tricia O'Kelley, TRICIAOKELLEY.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for
It was
coming.
fun. Thanks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.